Welcome back everyone, Tina here, and in this video today I'm going to show you how you can use estimates, triggers, actions and templates. It is now possible to automate the entire estimate process based on different filters. For example, did somebody accept an estimate? Then you can trigger a different workflow action. Did somebody decline a specific estimate? Then you can trigger different actions in the workflow. By automating the entire estimate section based on different scenarios will significantly reduce your workload and make you look much more professional because you can bring in that consistency with these templates. Let me show you how you can set this up. All right, first things first, we want to create the template so that we can pull that into the workflow actions or the trigger, right? So click on payments on the left, select invoices and estimates at the top, get into templates, and then you see for invoice templates and you see for estimates templates, right? Click the plus template button right here, and then you want to rename your template. Okay, then you want to add your business information, but typically it just pulls it from the location. So if you click that little pencil icon here, you can see all your location details. You can change it here if you need to, then hit save when you're ready and keep going adding the information. Here we want to add a product, click plus product. You want to add the product we are about to sell to them, of course. So select that. You can still change the pricing. Okay. So please note that pricing will not be changed on a global basis just for that particular estimate here, right? Then you can change the quantity as well. We're not going to add tax. We don't like tax. That should be included in the price. So I like to include the taxes in the price so people don't have that negative connotation of, oh my God, there is some add-on, right? But you do as you like. Then you can click the three dots here. You can view the description of the product if it has one, right? And you can delete the product if you accidentally added the wrong one. You can add more products as well. Okay, so there's that. So total 600. Then under additional options, definitely add your terms and conditions so it becomes all clear what they're signing up for. Just add your URL, hyperlink it back to your URL, open it in a new tab, right? So that's all done and dusted. Hit save top right corner. Then let's go back and let's get into workflow so we can actually pull this particular template into the workflow now. So click on automation on the left, workflows at the top, click plus create new workflow, start from scratch. Then we want to set the trigger. Click the plus trigger button, type estimates in the search bar, and you see that new trigger showing up. Okay, so here you can dictate the triggers by different filters. For example, the estimate status is sent, accepted, declined. The estimate value is a particular number or the estimate template. Okay, let's say the estimate value is or equals 1000. Okay, let's say that just as an example, right? Then rename your trigger so you always know what's going on. Then add the filter, select template, for example, is demo template. Okay, whatever the name of your template is. So now the trigger is, hey, if this estimate equals 1000, then do the rest of these actions, right? So let's click the plus sign and we can also incorporate like an if else, for example. Here you can add different branches. So if that estimate got sent, accepted, declined, and so on and so forth. So we want to filter in this example, for example, by these conditions. So let's say we want to select estimates, the status, okay, or the total amount. You can select the estimate number, but for now, we're just going to select the status is sent. Okay, we want to rename that branch to sent. Then we want to add another branch, select estimates, status is accepted, rename the branch to accepted, and add another branch, select estimate, status is declined. Okay, what are we going to do then? Okay, so let's operate for those three actions. Hit save action bottom right. So now you can see, hey, the trigger is, for example, estimates equals 1000. Then let's filter for the condition. If it's sent, if it's accepted, or if it's declined, or if it's none. Okay, so if it's accepted, for example, we can send an email, for example, hey, thank you for accepting our estimate. You would obviously be a bit more creative here. And then please check the separate email for the invoice, for example, right? Hit save action. And now we obviously want to send an invoice. Click plus and then type invoice, select the invoice action right here. The invoice comes from, select your user here, and then you would need to pull an invoice template here as well in order to save it. Okay. Now we cannot save it because there was no template. That's fine. So let's say you would obviously continue going here as well. You can, the sky is the limit. Think what you want to have happened after this action happens. So if it's sent, then what do you want to happen? If it's declined, do you want to send another email? Do you want to send a calendar link to discuss things, about the estimate, and so on and so forth. You could also send, of course, the action step estimate, right? But let's say here, send estimate. You can send an estimate as an action step, but then the trigger should be different. So I'm going to change that in a minute. Let's say action names. Then from user, select your user. And here you can select the template as well, right? So let's send estimate demo 2, hit save action. Okay. So in this scenario, for example, the estimate equals 1,000 and it has been declined. Then send another estimate. Send an estimate for maybe fewer services added to the estimate, but then a lower price. That could be one case study, right? Or you can change the trigger to Facebook lead ad or book to call or fill out a form, right? Like if they filled out a form and they submitted a form, let's say the form is this particular form, right? Then you could put the conditions as, hey, if they replied to this particular question, this particular answer, then send based on this particular condition, logical condition that would be, right? Send estimate number 1. Or if it was another answer, send estimate number 2, and so on and so forth, right? So you get my point, okay? So please keep in mind, you can do both. So you can set the estimates in triggers, you can set estimates in actions, okay? In the triggers, you can set the estimate value or the status, for example, right? Let's delete the value one. So the estimate status value or pull the template immediately, right? So let's say we pull the template is this particular one we just created, change that to demo 2, right? Demo template 2. Hey, if this demo template 2 got sent, then filter through the conditions. If it's sent, then these actions will happen. If it's accepted, send a thank you email. If it's declined, send another estimate, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now going back, let's hit save. Go back to payments, invoices, templates, click on estimates. You can also just clone all your estimates here to make it faster in recreating different estimates, right? You can click clone, it would clone. You could just use the template and create a different one. You can edit it here and you can also delete it by clicking the delete button. And that's it already. This is how you incorporate estimate automation inside of workflow as the trigger and as the action once you have created an estimate template. I hope you like this new feature and I will see you in the next video.